Greetings, fellow Whovians, and welcome to Timey Wimey Review. My festive look at Doctor Who episodes continues with The Runaway Bride, originally broadcast on BBC One on Christmas Day 2006. Just in case you don't know the plot, the 10th Doctor is embroiled in another adventure, this time with bride-to-be Donna Noble, who mysteriously appears inside the Doctor's TARDIS. Their wild adventure leads the Doctor and Donna to confront the Empress of Ragnos, who wants to use the Earth as a breeding ground for her children to resurrect her alien race. First off, happy birthday to Catherine Tate, who at the time of recording has celebrated her birthday a few days ago. So this is probably a good point to start talking about Catherine Tate and Donna Noble. So I'm not going to lie, when it was announced in the summer of 2006, I believe, that Catherine Tate was to be in the Doctor Who Christmas special, I was a little bit skeptical. I wasn't like a huge Catherine Tate show fan. I liked the Nan sketch, but I wasn't really too fussed about the Lauren Am I Bothered character. But Catherine Tate turned me round after this episode and then some. She was amazing in this episode. I liked when she was funny, and she was genuinely funny. I loved the sparring between her and the Doctor, especially when she's going on about pockets in a wedding dress, and just her attitude as well. It just sit with me. There was bits of like you can see like little bits of characters from the Catherine Tate show being sort of thrown in as part of the Donna Noble character. But when she was funny, she was very funny. But when it needed to be serious, she didn't underplay it. She didn't try and do it for comedic laughs. I thought she really took the character to heart, and after the end of the episode, or towards the end of the episode, you really do feel sorry for her after what she'd been through in a space of an hour or so, knowing that her life's just been turned upside down. And yeah, Catherine really played it beautifully. I couldn't say anything bad about this performance at all. And I would have thought that I know probably at the time that Catherine was very busy doing other projects, but I just feel like Russell T Davis, with him sort of building up the sort of family around Donna Noble with Sylvia, with her mum and Jeffrey Noble, and even like best friend or kind of best friend, bridesmaid Neris, that yeah, I think Russell T really had her in mind as the next companion, but fates just couldn't happen at that point. So very glad that we did get to see Catherine Tate back in season 4 of Doctor Who. And again, I was still a little bit skeptical at that point. But she did definitely turn me around, and rewatching this episode really just shows how good Catherine Tate is as an actress. And I would love to see her do more serious stuff as well as the comedy. I know she's done quite a few bits on stage as well as on screen, but yeah, I want her back on the TV screens very, very soon. Really good here. Can't fault her one bit. Same goes for David Tennant as the Doctor. He's really getting into his stride now, if you compare that from his debut story, The Christmas Invasion, a year ago. And I really like that the scene where the Doctor and Donna are in the TARDIS at the beginning, and he's being totally like the Doctor, very alien, sort of with the stethoscope and trying to do like weird tests or something along those lines. And then the Donna just slaps him and puts him down. But then when she confronts the Doctor with Rose's jacket, he just turns on a dime from being the Doctor to this really sad, very upset, lost his companion, obviously still mourning the loss of Donna, sorry, not Donna, Rose from Doomsday. And yeah, I like that they kept some of the Rose Tyler storyline elements in this episode, and just to completely dismiss it after the season finale that we had, and especially the scenes that we had between the Doctor and Rose, just would have made a bit of a disservice. So I'll, even though I'm not a massive fan of the Doctor Rose love storyline, it needed to be in this episode, and David just pulls that off amazing, brilliantly. Can't fault him at all. And I'd love that we got more seeds of pretty much Time Lord victorious now. I noticed that in the previous Christmas special, Christmas Invasion, we had a little bit, a tiny bit of that. When he has the sword fight with the Sycorax High Chief, and obviously kills him the way that he does. And again, we have this when he confronts the Empress of Ragnos, and um, yeah, you just get that element of sometimes he just doesn't know when to stop. I feel that not only the Doctor is still mourning the loss of Rose, but I think he's still coming to terms with the Time War, and just the way that the Doctor, especially the 10th Doctor, deals with certain crossing the lines from aliens and people, and dishing out punishment is, it's quite dark at times, especially when you get to Family of Blood and Human Nature in season 3. But yeah, here as well, confronting the Empress of Ragnos, he definitely doesn't know when to stop, and those seeds just carry on growing. And if anything, it was really sort of like the undercard of the whole 10th Doctor era. Definitely that Time Lord Victorious has took a life of its own now, thanks to Big Finish Audio. And just to see those seeds and then how it sort of grows, but still being the Doctor that you know and love, it's a sort of, as Donna said, it's mad. You see that, and then one moment you're producing snow from the TARDIS. It's it's mad and it's bonkers, but it's also frightening and dangerous at the same time. And again, David Tennant plays it to a T. Visual highlight for The Runaway Bride for me is the car chase scene, and you just can't help but get just sucked in by this whirlwind scene with the car chase, and Donna being stuck in the taxi shouting out Santa's a robot. And I don't know about you, but I feel like those two little kids watching this scene unfold. It's a really good effects as well, with the Doctor in the TARDIS, and it's good to see the TARDIS being used like that. It's very rare that we get to see the TARDIS sort of whizzing around like that, instead of being like in a sort of time warp, time tunnel. But to see the TARDIS flying in daylight, it's pretty cool to see. And I think the effects still hold up, considering it's been 15 years ago and it's on BBC TV budget effects money. Yeah, it's a great visual treat, and the music is fantastic as well. If I had to pick a nitpick, and again, it'll only be a very minor nitpick, is the villain herself, Empress of Ragnos. It's not the most, I would say, visually memorable villain, but I think that was kind of like the weakest element in this episode. But it's not like the important part of the episode. That's kind of like just the sort of like the skin on the surface. The underlayer is, for me, sort of love and loss, and how to cope with that, and how the two are sort of coping with that, and just being embroiled in this wild adventure. So with that being said, I'm going to give The Runaway Bride a TARDIS rating of 7.5 out of 10. I completely forgot how good this episode was, this Christmas special was. Really enjoyed watching it again. Catherine Tate and David Tennant just spar so well together. Really enjoyed them scenes, and Catherine absolutely nailed it as Donna Noble. It's not like the definitive Donna Noble, but the blueprint is just there. So when she does come back, I would say there is a bit more of a, when she does come back in season 4, I think there's a bit more sort of polished performance and character development. But here it just works really well. Again, when she's funny, she's really funny, and then when she plays it serious, you really sort of get the emotion. And again, love the scene at the end with the Doctor inviting Donna to travel with him in the TARDIS, and she says no, and you totally buy into the reasons, and just the emotional reasons of not wanting to travel with him basically at that moment in time. But David Tennant is excellent, the music is great, the story as a whole is pretty solid, and yeah, just had a really good time with this Christmas special. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on The Runaway Bride. Is this your favourite Doctor Who Christmas special? If not, let me know what is your favourite Doctor Who Christmas special. Next time on Timey Wimey Review, since there's still loads to talk about, and I know there was quite a few bits and bobs that I missed from my initial spoiler talks, I'm going to do a series overview slash review of Doctor Who Flux and ask myself, is this been the best series so far in the Chris Chibnall, Jodie Whittaker era? Until then, thank you very much for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And as a good doctor once said, I'm not from Mars.